Hello and welcome everyone. We're going to jump right in here. This is my first ever video for my new YouTube channel, and we're doing Core Set Cube. A little bit more about the details of all that later, but first we've got a pick ahead. If you gain life, gain twice that much life. I don't know about all that. Hammer of Bogarden's pretty good. Sign in Blood is okay, but I'm not necessarily dying to be in black. Seedborn Muse is sweet, but maybe not a first pick card. Nexus of Fate I love, but I think one part of this is that I think red is one of the best, if not the best color in this cube. I've done about 3 drafts with these sets, so although Hammer may not necessarily be the absolute best card in the pack, it is in a very strong color to be in, and it's a good card, and it fits with the theme of a deck that I have had a little bit of success with, which is blue-red spells. It would work fine in that deck, so I take that first. I think that red is probably the strongest color, and that blue and green are kind of close. Maybe green's a little better as second, but I've enjoyed blue-red spells a lot. I've only done about 3 of these drafts so far. White does kind of some aggro things. Black has some really good cards and some really bad cards, so I'm just kind of not sold on black. Kind of leaning towards Destructive Force, but it's really not the best card in the pack. Might even table. None of these cards really are jumping out of me. I guess Resplendent Angel is probably the best card. I'm not necessarily wanting to be in white, but I'm going to take the Resplendent Angel. I've had a habit of wasting early picks anyway, so if I wasted that one, you know, I didn't really pass on anything that was really great either. So now there are a decent number of white cards in this pack, and it's possible that I'll end up in white at this point. Rancor is a really good card, although what I really like about green is kind of the ramp stuff. Top 5 cards, but yeah, that's sweet. Like, ramp is pretty good in this format, I think. Sack a creature, return target creature card from your graveyard. That sounds really cool in this format, assuming that it survives. Pretty weak card otherwise, though. I guess I take the Rejuvenator, and we'll see. The Crusader of Odric is okay. Council's Lieutenant is pretty good. I'm going to take the Rejuvenator. I'd prefer to be in a ramp deck to a white aggro deck. I'd rather kind of force that way, and I don't know if I can get there. And now I see Doomblade is particularly good in this format. What we're kind of looking at, I think, is this format. It has some kind of aggressive sorts of creature decks. It has some kind of mid-range ramp sort of decks, but a lot of creatures. I mean, there's certainly some planeswalkers, but the reason I like red a lot is because it has kind of a plethora of removal. Black is very limited in removal, which is why Doomblade is pretty good. Because if you're gonna play black, you know, you're not gonna get many shots at a card like that. Fiery Impulse is a card I may get some shots at. Cards like that, there are a lot of good burn spells. I think I'm going with the Doomblade. It's the best card in the pack. I know I'm all over the colors. I'll settle down and read the signals a little bit here. I really don't like picking 4 different colors the first 4 pick. I'm sure probably most people don't, but that's what I've done. Now, seeing that Garruk Apex Predator is in the pack kind of gives me a little more direction, because I think that card's really good. Planeswalkers are really good in this format, and that kind of tells me that no one is on like a green ramp sort of strategy yet, I think. Because, I mean, that would be... I mean, it's not the absolute best Planeswalker or anything, but it's pretty good. So, yeah, I'm going to try to go with that. I don't really like Ulcerate much. It's fine, but, you know, I wouldn't really go out of my way this early to get it. Liana Spectre is kind of okay-ish. Player's okay. I'm taking Garruk. Alright. Oh, alright. So there's Vivian Reed, and that's fine. Again, this isn't a top-of-the-line best Planeswalker ever printed, but it is a good card. Read the Bones is also pretty good here. Artifact, creature, enchantment, artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. I think that's pretty good in this format. Yeah. Arbor Elf is also good. I'm going to take Vivien Reid. I'm going to think that probably there's some ramp spells coming back around because, like I said, people really didn't take that on the first go round. Volcanic Hammer would be okay. Let's see. When it dies, you get 2 dudes, and when they die, you get more dudes. Okay, it's fine. Creatures die in this format. There's no doubt about it. But it is a 4/4 for 4. It's not really. I kind of like the hammer here a little bit more, I think. Kind of gone away from that a little bit. You know what? Split Strahd. It's a nice little bomb. You can, if it goes to the graveyard, it actually has a nice little effect as well. A la the Mitotic Slime. Druidic Satchel. It's probably Hurricane, probably Graveblade Marauder. Either of those cards are probably a little better. I don't think there's like a swarm of flyers most of the time, so I don't sold on the Hurricane. I think I will take the Graveblade Marauder. It is okay. It is not fantastic. Interestingly, I got Sign in Blood back, which is a great black card, so I think probably being on green-black is... I haven't tested this combination yet, so this is cool. This will be interesting territory to go into on the first draft here. Oops, not the card I meant to take out. I'm going to take out this guy and this guy for now. Okay, looking at Plummet. I'm looking at a lot of good options here, honestly. Hornet Nest is pretty good. Kind of locks up the ground. I think I like the Plummet. Removal is sweet. It may not be a main deck card, but it's a really, really good sideboard card. And now I think Knight of Infamy. There's definitely some wide aggressive decks running around, so this would be quite solid in those matchups. It's better than the other cards. Maybe Gravedigger here? I'll put the Plummet in the board. I think my deck can be good enough that I don't want conditional cards. Honored Hierarch is kind of tempting. I think I will take that, actually. I don't know if it's something I'm going to make work or not, and I like Liliana Spectre. Card advantage is certainly a thing in this format, and this card fits my deck. By the way, I noticed that Chief Engineer there is, I guess, a blue-red kind of artifact deck. I haven't seen it in action much. I don't think that it's particularly powerful, but then again, going into this draft, I wouldn't have told you that I thought green-black was particularly powerful, but here we are. What I need to open is Grave Titan. Let's open Grave Titan. Alright, none of those cards seem to be Grave Titan, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get to it. So, black was open? I could ask for someone to pass it to me. Seems greedy. So, Zombie Infestation, Elvish Visionary? Maybe Elvish Visionary. There's probably some merit to having some creatures that are kind of expendable in this format. Probably some sacrifice outlets and things I could make use of in this kind of a deck. I don't think Revenant is really, unless it does something else that I don't know. Power just equals number of creature cards in the graveyard. It's fine. It's good. It's a good finisher. Anyway. Oh no! No, I didn't pick that. It picked it. That's weird. Okay, like, I thought a long time ago I'd actually taken... wow, that is unfortunate. I did not want that card. Okay, anyways, moving on. Farseek is a ramp card, which I do need some ramp cards. However, Thragtusk is also a very solid creature with some card advantage built in. Shadowborn Demon is quite good. Ooh, that's tough. I think I'm going to actually go with Farseek. It's really tough though, but I think ramp is the reason this deck is good is because of the ramp. I think that high-end stuff I can replace, but Farseek I cannot. get... Ooh, hey, there we go, there we go. Alright, Grave Titan. I'm a little bit unduly excited about that, but I'm really happy to get that Grave Titan. I think that makes this deck way better. It may make Soul of Innistrad unplayable. It was kind of one of those late picks that wasn't really, you know, I wasn't on it for sure. I'm going to take that out for now. Just upgrading. Soul Clash Spider is decent, probably bordering on unplayable if I can find better playables. So I've got a neat little theme going on here with the Rejuvenator and the oh well, no, I was gonna pick the Elvish Visionary, right? And I had a thing that was gonna be going on. Okay, so maybe I want the Charcoal Diamond to make sure that I have enough ramp spells to get to my high-end stuff here. Caustic Caterpillars. I'll probably pick up another card that kind of has a better effect than that, though. Demon of interesting. Charcoal Diamond isn't, like, you know, ideal, but it'll work. It's black, so that's something. I think I can do some work with Acidic Slime here, so I'm gonna pick that. Right now I'm kind of thinking about the Hierarch and how good that's gonna be, if it will be good or not. Disciple of Bolas is interesting. I'm pretty sure Acidic Slime is better. Debating on their Sun Petal Grove, but I probably can. I've already got Farseek, so probably if I have to splash it off color like white, I can probably pick up something else for that later. There's a Moss Diamond. That's sweet. Liliana Vess. I think I just want to have the Moss Diamond. I think I'm going to have enough good high-end stuff that I can make the ramp thing what I want it to be. I don't think Liliana is really a good enough planeswalker to skip on a ramp for. So, yeah, that's the best pick. Doom Dissenter is not getting there, I don't think. So I'm going to take the Hierarch to the sideboard for now. I don't know. It's one of those cards, like, if I draw it mid-game, it's going to be hard for me to get through unblocked. So it's okay. Like, turn 1 is great. Other times it's not very good. I guess Sorin Markov is a pretty good card here. I don't think Smallpox is where I'm going to want to be. So, although maybe I have that Sacrificial Creature kind of theme going, it could be good. Against some decks. I'm going to take the Sorin. It's definitely a higher impact card, and there is some potential I'm going to want as another high end by the end of the picking here. Okay, the Primox can bounce a thing for me. Whenever this or another human dies, I get a 2/2 black zombie. So that guy is actually not bad. He dies, he gives me a zombie. I think against aggro and stuff, that's a sweet little stopgap kind of thing, so yeah. You need things like that. There are aggro decks in the format. Fauna Shaman, I guess. Could go Elvish Piper and like gamble big time, but Fauna Shaman is probably likely to have some utility. I don't know that I'll even play it, but it's possible that I'll play it, and that if the deck, you know, if I get a couple of things to go with it, it could be quite good. Could take City of Brass. Actually, I almost like the city. Alright, I'm going to take the Shaman. I'm going to continue to gamble the fact I'm probably going to get some green-black fixing. It's not like there's a ton of dual lands, though, really, in this set. I'm going to definitely take the Shadowborn Demon. That actually makes me lean towards wanting to play the Fauna Shaman, because I would like to dig that guy up by pitching creatures into the graveyard. That seems like real good synergy. And maybe I'm on the Stitcher Supplier, not sure about that, but possibly. I'll put it in the board for now. It does kind of do things with the Shadowborn Demon and the Fauna Shaman, but it's probably not really ideal. Okay. So off to a pretty good start here. I've definitely got the ramp and I've got some good high end. I've got a little bit of removal in the Doomblade. I guess the Caterpillar, just in case. Just in case I don't pick up another removal for enchantments or artifacts. And I guess I could pick Plague Mare up. I think I like Plague Mare better. I've played against some white aggro decks that have a lot of 1 toughness creatures, and that gotta be real good there. So, Raised Dead is better, but probably still not playable, and I'll take Thud. Oh, apologies, I'm using the wrong mouse this whole time. So I forgot I bought an external mouse, not used to all that. So anyway, that's what we see here is right off the bat looking pretty good here. I think that's what I'm going to be wanting. I don't think Plague Mare is the main deck card. So let's do a little color sort here just to kind of keep in mind where I'm at. I'm definitely on a little bit more black right now, but if I get some ramp spells like I hope to, like a Rampant Growth or something, then I can go a little more green. This is another green spell, so that helps. You kind of want it to be base green for cards like Farseek. Although Sign in Blood kind of leans towards base black, but it's not even probably one of the best cards for this deck. I mean, it's fine, but as long as the mana works for it. Unfortunately, I did already pass the green-black Pain land, so what I'm looking for is probably like the green-black Slow land at some point, or Terramorphic Expanse. That would work, but also there's better cards probably in this pack with Terror, Plow Under. These are really good cards. I like Plow Under. Only on the Dark Realms. So search for a swamp, put it into your hand. -X, -X, the number of swamps. Yeah, I don't think that does enough. It's probably it's so tough. I want the Terror, I want the Plow Under. I think I'm gonna take the Terror. I think I'm playing kind of like a survive and play bombs strategy. Although I do have the Acidic Slime, and that would be really nice to be able to like blow up some lands and then play a bomb. It's really tough, but I think I'm going Terror here. If I have Doomblade Terror, then I'm going to have a lot of outs to any kind of big bombs that they have. Ooh, I'd like to do Nicol Bolas. That probably is going to be out of the range of the kind of mana that I can produce. I don't think Joiner Adept does enough to really want it in a deck. Ostracize. Creature card only. I thought maybe we get Planeswalkers. Unfortunate. Okay. Nantuko Husk could be good. I guess I take Nantuko Husk. It is fine. Not necessarily great. Okay. Some of these cards are pretty mediocre, but that's okay. I have some really good cards too. And then I have. Wait, what's this thing? Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. When it dies, it deals 6 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Well, that's cool. That's actually not bad. I don't think I need it that bad, though, because I've already got the Soul of Innistrad, and that's a pretty good card there for late game finisher. And I've got Revenant. Pay 2 life, sack a swamp, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Wow. Wow, that's not bad. I still think it's Necrotal. The Strands could possibly table. One thing I'm doing here is I'm making sure that I have a lot of good answers for aggressive decks, and then the rest we'll kind of figure out as we go, because most of the decks are kind of at least aggressive or mid-range. When this enters the battlefield, I get a 5/5 Demon, and I can't read it because of my little thing here. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life. Oh, so if they kill the demon, then you just have a 2/2 that's costing you a bunch of life. Okay. Dwynnon? I don't think it's Dwynnon. Could be. Maybe against Control, I want the Nature Spiral. I'm going to take the Dwynnon. I don't think I want the I've already got 2 actual removal spells. So Maybe I'd rather just have another creature. This deck seems to need to, you know, kind of have some creatures to make it go, and I may be wanting to use Revenant as an additional finisher with my Fauna Shaman. So, alright, Doomed Necromancer. That seems good. I can return Grave Titan, I can return Acidic Slime, I can return Shadowborn Demon. Yep, it's definitely got some utility here. For those wondering that maybe know me pretty well, I'm definitely a blue player at heart, and this deck is outside my comfort zone. It's kind of neat to start something like this that's a little bit different for me. I like the Druid of the Cowl here, but Vampire is also really cool. Like, I mean, if I continue along this path and take the Vampire Nighthawk, it's like I'm just never going to lose to aggressive decks. I don't know how I'll do against control, but really something that has been very prevalent. Druid of the Cowl, but I've already got some mana accelerants. And I don't think it's that big of an upgrade. I think I'd take the Nighthawk. Just rub it in on aggro. That's good against control. I mean, as long as I'm saying that's what I'm weak against is control, then I think it's Phyrexian Arena. Bloodthrone Vampire is just not really strong enough to make. You know, I've already gotten into Go Husk if I really want an effect like that, and I'm not sure that I even do. So yeah, it's Phyrexian Arena. Okay. And then I've got either Ravenous Rats, Deadly Recluse. Maybe the Ravenous Rats. Then I get kind of a theme. I've got the rats. I've got the Spur. I've got the Acidic Slime. A lot of creatures that, when they come into play, do something that kind of affect my opponent if they're playing a more rangy or control deck. I think that maybe that's how. And then even a little bit of extra land destruction. Out of the Dark Realms. Gets my swamps out of my deck. I can kill a creature with it. Get an emblem that gives me lots of mana. I'm going to take the Bramble Crush. I think it's more versatility, really. And then how about Ostracize? We'll do that. My biggest concern is really the mana. Do I want Graveborn Muse or Strands of Night? So I think Strands of Night, if I can land it just completely, and if it'll stick, should be able to handle those difficult matchups for me. None of these cards are really what I'm afraid of. I guess Temple Bell seems to be. No, I'll take the Colossus. It's the most playable of those cards. Temple Bell's probably not very good at all. So I'll probably lose to it now. Sorin's Vengeance for games in the sideboard where I want to take them by surprise, and Bloodseeker, more cards that are good against kind of aggro swarm sort of decks. So hopefully I'll be able to show off that this format is definitely not a control format, and that really you want to have decks that are just pretty good at beating aggro, and I think I am there. Like I am Bramble crushing the aggro at this point with all the options I have, including like Plummet after sideboard, but we're not there yet. So I don't think Dwynnin is probably the best. It may come in. It's another one that's like Fauna Shaman. How do I make Fauna Shaman work? Okay, I don't want Bloodseeker main. And I'm trying to at least cut down reason real quick. I'm definitely more black than green, which was not really ultimately the goal. I may not be the best green drafter, or maybe the green wasn't as open as I was hoping it was. I could even just splash green for the Garruk. But I think I need a little more of the green. Yeah, I mean, Acidic Slime, Nissa, these are cards that are part of the plan, I think. 1/8/7 creatures and all that. Planeswalkers. Okay, so the cool thing is a lot of my ramp doesn't really require green mana. So it's okay. I don't have to, like, I could maybe even cut the green ramp cards. And then and just play less green mana. So I've got the, like, how's that look? If I take the Farseek, I don't know that I want to take the Rejuvenator. I kind of like it a little bit better because it's a creature, which matters for Fauna Shaman, and it matters for Nantuko Husk, and Graveblade Marauder, and Shadowborn Demon. I don't know how often. I mean, Shadowborn Demon, though, I just need some creatures that I can sacrifice to it. I think a lot of times it's hard to have the 6 in the graveyard. I guess in the mid to late game you kind of get there. I like the Doom Necromancer, I think. I think I have enough. And that kind of is another. It really makes me want to play the Fauna Shaman. So, yeah, I think then I have 3 ramp spells in the diamonds and the Rejuvenator, and then the Nissa will go get me a land but not put it into play. That should be fine. So, looking at, I don't know how much I like the Husk. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's, like, I think the Graveblade guy is better. Again, looking at just cards that are really good against aggro. Like, I'm kind of stacked, honestly, against aggro, and that's sort of where I want to be. I think that in like 70-80% of my matches, the cards that are good against aggro are good. So I think it's about like this. I think this looks like all of these cards feel like, you know, they feel pretty good. I think ultimately we did pretty well here. Let's look again at the color spread with only 5 base green cards, and then I have 10, about 15 black cards. So 3/4 of my spells about are black. And probably terrible at math at this time of night. Maybe not. Revenant is the card that I was looking at and maybe wanting to put back in. I have 14 creatures. Soul of Innistrad. Looking if I want another finisher. A lot of my finishers right now are Planeswalkers, and that's fine because, like I said, all my cards are pretty good against aggro. So if Planeswalkers aren't because they can attack them, then that'll be made up for by the fact that the rest of my deck is, and all of these Planeswalkers, you know, they'll be fine against. Yeah, I think this is where it's at, and I just gotta so forests makes ways to make that's a little forests. That'll leave me with 10 swamps, which should be because I do also have the charcoal diamonds. So that's 11 black sources. Of course, my deck is very heavily black. The suggestion there disagrees with me a little bit, but Sign in Blood, though, is a card that helps, and Phyrexian Arena is a card that helps, and both those are in black, so maybe, yeah, I could probably do it with 6 green sources. I'm not casting anything green before turn 2, and there's only one. Well, I'm not casting anything before turn 2, period. I'm not casting anything green on turn 2 except for Fauna Shaman, and I'm not necessarily, that's not a desperate need to cast that on turn 2. Yeah, I probably want to be able to cast my Sign in Blood reasonably often, so. Alright, that's what I'm going to do, and going to rock this. Honored Hierarch definitely is not making its way back in. Farseek seems far away, and looking at other cards, Strands of Undeath is, or sorry, Strands of Night is a card that I like, but not enough that I think, well, it costs me a land too. It costs a lot of mana and a land. I think it's good against control, probably not so good at other things. So, okay, I'm going to try it like this. So, thanks for watching the draft portion, and I'll see you guys back here